to an all-new layered Omni. Allow me to lay it on you. Guys, finally, we've got some good old-fashioned coffee-sipping Smash community drama. None of that crazy, dark, serious shit. Okay, now I can go all out and show you guys my final form. Okay, but for real, I'm excited to talk about this topic because not only do I have a very strong stance about it that you'll hear in a moment, but also because this is the kind of stuff I love arguing about in general. So yeah, okay, let's get into it. Let's fight. Or not, because that's exactly what happened over the weekend at Battle of BC3. If you weren't aware, Battle of BC3 is a tournament that took place in Vancouver over the weekend. We got to see some good old Melee from Axe, S2J, and Zane, as well as other top players from the Melee community. But none of the quote-unquote gods were in attendance. Regardless, one set in particular became the highlight of the tournament. What had happened is in loser 8s, a match between Chango and Fauxhebro. I think his name is Fauxhebro. Just if I'm mispronouncing your name, bro, I'm sorry, but that I don't know. Fauxhebro occurred with Chango being a Jigglypuff main and Fauxhebro being an Ice Climber's main. If you weren't aware, these two characters are probably the two most hated characters in the Melee scene at the moment. During game 5 of the set, Chango acquired a 3-2 stock lead over Fauxhebro on Fountain of Dreams. With said lead, Chango began to play extremely defensive by bobbing and weaving in the air outside of Fauxhebro's normal range, only landing to refresh his double jumps on the platforms. If you're not sure why and for some reason you just don't watch Melee, this is because Ice Climbers are grapple characters that essentially can remove your stock from one grab, which requires them to be on the ground. Jigglypuff, however, excels when she is airborne and thus profits by not being placed on the ground, hence Chango's desire to stay outside of that grab range. On top of it, Chango also had the lead and thus could play defensively, forcing the Ice Climbers player to approach him. Ice Climbers aren't the best when it comes to approaching characters in the air, and they can easily put themselves at a disadvantage by doing so, so that was the current state of events. I forgot to mention this, but due to Chango's strong defensive playstyle previously in the previous matches, Fauxhebro changed his tag to play, verbally expressing his dislike of his opponent's non-approaching playstyle. Anyway, suddenly during the match, Fauxhebro seemed to have just kind of given up and completely remained still on one side of the stage, not approaching. Chango, having the lead in the match, was fine with the result and remained still on the other side. This led to a stalemate where both characters just did nothing on the screen for a long period of time. From there, you started hearing boos from the crowd, from top players, hell, even one of the commentators began chiming in on it. Here's the clip in case you missed it.
No, it's fine.
It did not pan out that way.
No, it'll be hype. It's coming down to the wire. Yeah,
I think it's going to come down to time.
Boo! Look at Hugo's so bored. Look how Hugo's so bored.
Boo! I see Johnny booing.
Johnny's booing. Look at
Boo!
Johnny. He's so pissed. Look at him. Look how pissed Johnny is.
No, production hit us with a no.
Johnny just flipped off with the double. This is actually why spaces are important, Oscar. This is why spaces are important. We have an important job to do, and we failed this tournament.
The Spaceys failed.
We failed.
We let this top 8
We
happen.
let this happen. Guys, I promise the rest of the top 8 is going to be hype.
I think
I'm
so.
sorry.
Do we have any more? Well,
no.
We should have freed Foe. We should have listened.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
Probably no fist bump, I'm guessing.
Yeah. He's so done. Wow. Oh, he's pissed. He's pissed. Wow. You hate to see it.
As you can see, Fauxhebro eventually said screw it, unplugged his controller, and quit the game mid-match.
Oh, he tried it.
From there, figures within the Smash community and even the FGC started chiming in on the event. Some felt that Chango's defensive playstyle was bogus, boring, and that Jigglypuff is the problem. Others felt that Fauxhebro lost his spirit of competition, was outplayed, and essentially put on a show/demonstration to incite discourse that you see now. Keep in mind that this tournament also had a technique called wobbling band. This is a tech that the Ice Climbers can use to remove your opponent's stock with just one grab, aka their most powerful tool. So yeah, that wasn't allowed. But yeah, that's the gist of it. That's what happened in the match, and that's what happened on Twitter and social media. That's basically what went down. Now, all right, guys, let's talk, okay? Let's be real, all right? I don't know about you guys, but I know exactly what's going down. I've talked about this plenty of times before. It all boils down to the Melee scene and how they deal with the concept of quote-unquote lame play. For the most part, the Melee scene is split into two kinds of people. You've got one side being players who enjoy quick, fast-paced gameplay, which usually revolves around both players being overly aggressive and creating a high engagement rate throughout the match. And then you have the other side who hates any playstyle that doesn't fit that description. This includes playstyles that are overly defensive, less technical but still highly rewarding, and anything that fits within that general bubble. This specific hatred for this kind of playstyle has incited a change in a 17-year-old game, which most recently, as I mentioned before, led to ice climbers having their infinite chain grab being banned. Now, in order to counteract the lame playstyle, the community is discussing ledge grab limits, airtime, essentially any kind of rule to prevent Jigglypuff from playing in the most optimal way that she can play. In my opinion, it's not even so much the spirit of competition at this point, but more so to create a specific dynamic for Melee. It's like people feel like Melee should be played a certain way, and if it's not being played a certain way, it's not Melee, or it's killing Melee. It's the whole Hungry Box ordeal all over again. My guess is that to preserve the game and make Melee last as long as it can, a large portion of the community has focused the most on trying to make the game as entertaining as possible, almost as if it's a wrestling match, which completely takes away the spirit of competition from the game altogether if that becomes the focus. Going back to the story, to be frank, Fauxhebro simply lost his spirit of competition and had a tantrum on stage. That's all that happened. He got outplayed. Like, what did he want to happen? He made ice climbers. You expect a character who has the lead and specializes in being in the air to approach you and put themselves at a disadvantage? Nah, bruh. Best believe you are getting your ass camped. A good player will keep their distance from an ice climber's main and pick their approaches wisely, hoping that the ice climber player loses their patience trying to get in and then abuses that mistake. That's how the matchup works. Like, come on, that's what you signed up for when you're using ice climbers. Like, my question is why are you mad? Like, bruh, you realize that is the threat of approaching your character. This man is literally getting mad for his opponent playing the matchup correctly. Anyway, two things usually happen in this situation. You've got a group of people who say, no Johns, aka no excuses, play to win, and take your L like a champ and keep it moving. Then you got another group who immediately blames Jigglypuff's existence and suggests that she is the problem, not the player who lost. Apparently her design and kit is creating a non-engaging form of play that people just don't want to play against or watch, which in my opinion is scrubby as fuck. I mean, you've got top players whining about this character after the fact. I won't name any names because, like I've said, I'm a changed man, okay? I really just don't want the drama. It's Leffen. It's always Leffen. To be honest, I just wish Melee players would just straight up, okay? Let's stop beating around the bush. Just admit that you want the game to be played a certain way, okay? You want unwritten rules, you want homie stocks, or some kind of honorable play that fits within your idea of what is actually honorable. I feel like Melee has become a spectator sport, and I think people believe that in order to preserve it, it needs to continue to be highly engaging to watch, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. Regardless, Chango did what he had to do to secure his win, and I respect him for it. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode of Lay It Omni. You've just been laid. Tell me how you guys feel about the whole ordeal in the comments below. Was Chango in the wrong? Was he right? Do you agree with Fauxhebro's protest or tantrum? I'll admit that I do understand his frustration. Like, being in a situation where you are at a clear disadvantage sucks, and not being able to play the game in the way you prefer just adds to this all. But like, my dude, that's what you signed up for, you know? Like, I don't have sympathy for people who made ice climbers. Like, to be honest, like you made a living taking advantage of people who played the way you wanted them to play because it fits your agenda. Now you're on the other end of it. You gotta hold that L. You gotta lick your wounds. Figure out the matchup. Choose another character, but you'll get no sympathy from me. Anyway, yeah, that's my take on the situation. Do me a favor, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. It means the world to me. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next video. I love you guys. Have an awesome